My Uncle Felix's story by itself is truly a fairy tale. They fell in love, they got married, and they moved to Milford, Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast. It's Jim Hamill, Season 3, Episode 19, with a Mexican flavor that cannot be denied. I am a foodie, let's be honest, and lots of us are. Eating in the Pocono Mountains just keeps getting better and better with diverse offerings all across our small towns and various corners of the region. There are all sorts of delicious dining spots, but one is about as authentic as it gets. La Posada and Felix's Cantina in Milford, and it's named after the late Mexican immigrant Felix Rosado. His family carries on his traditions at the restaurant, part of the Milford Hospitality Group. More on that in a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, with 2,400 square miles of forests, lakes, rivers, and mountains. With iconic family resorts and historic downtowns, it's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Now back to the episode. La Posada is a Mexican restaurant concept that features cuisine from the Yucatan Peninsula and southern regions of Mexico. La Posada spotlights dishes that combine native fruits and vegetables with spices. This restaurant is a tribute to the late Felix Rosado, and the cantina bears his name. Felix was a Mexican immigrant who lived in Milford, Pennsylvania, and opened the original La Posada Mexican restaurant in Dingman's Ferry in the late 1980s. Christina Luna sat down with Miguel Gonzalez, who is now heading up the tasty, delicious portions served up at La Posada and Felix's Cantina. Enjoy.
When somebody sits down at La Posada and eats a cochinita taco or a pescado frito, they're eating not just what we put forward, but they're eating all the love that my mother and my grandmother and my aunts and uncles have shared with me. And also they're eating part of a heritage that is deeply rooted in love and, quite frankly, happiness. My Uncle Felix, the patriarch of the family, started a Mexican restaurant. La Posada was launched in 1988, and we had 7 good years as a family working in Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania.
So tell us about his story, Felix's story. How did he come to the U.S.? How did he get to Milford?
My Uncle Felix's story by itself is truly a fairy tale. He met my Aunt Carol through a pen pal program that my Aunt Carol had in high school. She had stayed in touch with my Uncle Felix throughout the years. They fell in love, they got married, and they moved to Milford, Pennsylvania. And they were here in the late 60s, early 70s. My family as a whole, we have everything to thank my Uncle Felix and my Aunt Carol for, and that meeting by chance.
Tell us a little bit now. We want to hear about your story.
I came to the United States in 1985. I was 11 years old. It took me about 3 months to learn the language, full immersion. I grew up in Milford. I went to school at a small Catholic school in Port Jervis, New York. I graduated from Delaware Valley High School in 1992. I attended the University of Scranton for 2 years. However, college was not in the cards for me. I was restricted by my immigration status as far as how much aid I could get and how much work I could do. But I got through it. I got married in 1997, and I started in the car business for 22 and a half years. Throughout those 22 and a half years, I always had an inkling or a yearning of getting back into the restaurant business. When I was a teenager, I did not like being in that kitchen. I didn't like being a dishwasher. I learned a lot from my mother because I worked side by side with her. But as a kid, I don't think you truly appreciate what eventually becomes some of the fondest memories that you have. After 22 and a half years in the automotive industry, I decided that it was time for me to move on. I started a small kitchenette in Lehighton in Carbon County, Pennsylvania. And March 15th of 2020, the pandemic hit, it closed everything down. By the grace of God, I had purchased a food truck, which I launched, called Pancho's Mexican Food Truck. And I was extremely busy for 2.5 years. It was incredible. I got the phone call from my Uncle Bill Rosado and told me it's time to do this on a bigger scale. He loved what I was doing with the food truck. He obviously wanted the family involved. And then La Posada became my project.
You didn't like it when you were like younger, as you said, but then you transitioned to love it. And how did that happen and who influenced you?
I love food. I love to eat. You learn how to cook because you always want to make food for yourself. I am half Maya Indian, half Spanish. The peninsula of Yucatan is predominantly Mayan Indian. Their food mixed with Spanish traditions and Middle Eastern flavors. And that's what creates the Yucatecan cuisine. When I decided to open up the restaurant and I had the opportunity to open up the restaurant, that's what I wanted to bring forth. I wanted to bring forth a part of Mexico not everybody knows, number one. And number two, I wanted to bring those memories that I hold so dear in my heart onto somebody's table.
People expect from Mexican food tacos, enchiladas, burritos, but I know this is not the case here. Tell us a little bit about the menu.
So the menu reflects Central and Southern Mexican cuisine. We have quite a bit of seafood options on our menu. We have very naturally done vegan options. In addition to that, the flavors, the spices will be different from what people associate Mexican food to be.
Tell us a little bit what people can experience here besides the food.
So as soon as you walk through the doors, once you go through the threshold of the hotel and the restaurant, you'll notice the color appointments, the highlights, the woodwork, bird cages, stools, tile. Everything was done to mimic specific hacienda-appointed architecture from the part of Mexico we're from. It's been said that we don't quite know what the secret to happiness is, but there is no sad people at a Mexican restaurant. We have activities. We have salsa night twice per month. We have live music twice a month also. We have a beautiful patio and outdoor dining space. We overlook the Delaware River, so sitting out there on a beautiful day like today is incredible. Enjoy nature, good coffee, great food, incredibly friendly and knowledgeable staff, and it's an experience that I can truly say there's no other like it in Milford.
Tell us a little bit about how the Milford Hospitality Group has brought and enhanced the experience of being in Milford. What can people expect and experience here?
There's definitely a breath of fresh air that has come with the creativity and the intensity and the youthfulness that Milford Hospitality Group has brought to Milford. We have everything to offer to anybody, to any age group. If you have a family, you can go to Apple Valley. If you want to spend the night away, hanging out with friends, we have the Jive Bar and Lounge. If you want something more upscale with a metropolitan feel to it, we have Bar Louis at Hotel Fauchère. And if you want a great Italian meal with incredibly made pasta and sauces, we have the Tom Quick Inn. We are the youngest of the edition, but as a whole, 200 people that the group employs, all local. They are a force to be reckoned with. And I'm really excited of how they're changing the landscape. And not only that, they're making Milford a drive-to destination in the Poconos.
There are so many things to do and experience, right? Only nature and culturally and fun.
There is a lot of history in town to begin with. Milford is the crib of the conservation movement in the United States. There's a lot of artists, there's a lot of culture in Milford. The outdoor trails, the hiking trails, the biking trails, the rafting, kayaking, fishing, and those are just things that you can do within the town of Milford. As you start driving on the outskirts, the waterfalls are amazing. And I'm proud to call Milford my adopted home. You know, I've been away for some time and I truly miss being in Milford, and I'm really happy to be back again.
La Posada and Felix's Cantina right in the heart of Milford, Pennsylvania. Stop in for a night or two and definitely sample the menu. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new episode each week highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe and leave a review and or comment on whatever platform you listen.
For a warm welcome and refreshing wine, Three Hammers Winery really delivers.
The hops at 2nd District Brew Farm are grown right here.
Bright Path Brewing is a small town craft brewery with a big flavor. Your trail awaits you. Make it whatever you want. Wineries, breweries, or distilleries.
I've always wanted to craft a trail.
Of course you do. Visit PoconoBeverageTrail.com.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Now for a flashback to the opening of Cinco Niños at Kalahari Resorts and Conventions. Enjoy. Hey, it's Jim Hamill, and you know that Kalahari Resorts and Conventions has the massive indoor water park for all kinds of families to come and enjoy. But now, here in the lobby, they have a brand new restaurant called Cinco Niños. It's a family Mexican place where you can get a bite to eat any time of the day. Come on along and sample it with us.
The beautiful colors, the beautiful architecture, it's really re-inviting. So when you walk in that door, the first thing that Cinco Niños is doing is just sucking you right into it.
PTN was lucky enough to get an invite to try out the new menu at Cinco Niños, including what else but some fresh margaritas. I'll do chili and salt room today. All right, so now we've got our spot here at Cinco Niños at Kalahari. My buddy Kevin First, not last, is here with us right now. He does all the social media for the Pocono Mountains and Pocono Tourism and PTN. So I got the first course. Kevin's got his first course. This is the house margarita, and this is the prickly pear margarita.
Excited to try it.
I don't think Kevin's that prickly though, but he's gonna sample this. Let's give it a go. Cheers, man. Ooh. Now that's how I like to do family vacations.
The food is all from scratch, so the people are really enjoying it. The bar is absolutely amazing, as you can see. We have the largest tequila and mezcal bar in the entire Poconos.
All right, we're back at the table. Kevin and I are looking at our main courses right now. Everything looks delicious, but first things first, protect the PTN shirt.
We got a fruit smoothie with jalapeno and mango. And then we also have a shrimp cocktail.
Cheers to the shrimp cocktail, my friend. Wow, and everything's fresh, made right here at Cinco Niños at Kalahari.
That's phenomenal.
We were looking for a place that we didn't have yet. We have a great Italian restaurant. We have a great steak restaurant, you know, DC and Sortino's. Now we have Cinco Niños.
Cinco Niños is named for Kalahari's owners' 5 children. I have 2 kids myself and know just how much my daughter Prudence enjoys the indoor water park from a previous adventure here on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
It's a family place, right? And we want your family to come here and enjoy their time here. So you can come in here, do everything under one roof.
Is that another shrimp in there? There's shrimp in the cocktail. All right, Kevin, we have now reached our final course. This is dessert time, and Cinco Niños does it better than just about anybody else out there with a whole array of churros and different decadent things here. Which looks like your favorite here right now?
I'm thinking the chocolate taco for sure.
Chocolate taco, everybody. Let's dig right in. Oh man, that was delicious. Sean, I had a great time here having all the great eats, the great drinks, the great desserts here at Cinco Niños at Kalahari Resorts and Conventions, but running a little low here.
Absolutely. Let me get that next round for you right now.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. That's it from here, guys. Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network. Cinco Niños at Kalahari and La Posada and Felix's Cantina in Milford. 2 amazing spots to nosh on authentic Mexican fare in the Pocono Mountains. We hope you enjoyed Pocono Mountains Podcast. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.